Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders are advised that this video contains images and voices of people who have died.
In the remote West Australian desert lies a vast glittering salt lake. Yakulchi Napangati often returns here to Merewa, her country, where she and her family once lived a traditional desert-dwelling life, caring for the land just as their ancestors had done for millennia. Until one day, everything changed. Today they're known as the Pintupi Nine, a family group who made international headlines in 1984 when they emerged from the desert. Before that, they remained largely unaware of European colonisation. They'd never met a white person, seen clothes, or tasted sugar. In this seemingly barren landscape, Yakulchi and her sister Yalti found rich sustenance.
One. Alpi one. No coffee, no araik.
Each day, they would wake up early and travel up to 40 kilometres in search of water.
Kitjam kolomat, kitjam rak, putjam katanga.
Sometimes they'd see mysterious objects flying overhead.
We've been under the tree, hiding.
What did you think it was when you saw it?
Because Mamo.
Pintupi, the last of the loneliest people who still wander across the face of the earth, on an endless trek through the deserts of Central Australia, searching for food and water. There is no time for anything else.
The Pintupi Nine hadn't always been alone in the desert, but that all changed in the 1960s when a severe drought took hold. Many families migrated east with welfare patrols to the anti-government outpost of Papanya, attracted by the offer of free food and reuniting with family. Mantua Nungala's family was among them, but they never intended to leave their country for long.
When they go there, Popanya, we want to go home. We're going to go back.
Finally, in the early 80s, a group returned west, establishing the community of Kiwakura. But one family remained in the bush. One night, Pintupi men were camping near Kiwakura when a tall, naked warrior emerged from the darkness. It was Wolampiri, one of the Pintupi Nine children. Afraid he was a sorcerer, one of the men fired his gun.
Here I'm going to make them with it. A rifle. Right up in the air.
Terrified, Wolampiri fled through the desert, taking the Pintupi Nine with him.
When we saw a motor, we ran. My brother and I didn't know anyone, but we were being chased. We didn't know who was chasing us.
After several days of searching, a group of men from Kiwakura neared the family's camp, where they found the Pintupi Nine hiding, terrified. The men explained they knew the family from long ago and gave them the option of coming in from the bush. They hesitantly accepted.
The saga of the so-called Lost Tribe, that family of Pintupi Aborigines, continued in the press today, with the Aboriginal Affairs Minister Clyde Holding coming under fire for allowing the whole event to be turned into a public circus.
As the story of the Pintupi Nine sparked feverish media attention, the family was slowly coming to terms with a bewildering new world.
The first white man looked like a ghost. We had never seen one before. We thought they were a mamu, a devil man. We ate a whole bag of sugar. They tried to keep us away from it. We tried the tea bags, but chucked them away. No taste.
The family also suffered significant culture shock.
I wanted to go back home. I asked my mum, "Mum, you got to go back home. Mummy, we want to go back home, back to the bush."
One of the sons, Piety, struggled to adjust to his new life. He walked back into the desert and never returned. Today, Yalti and Yakulchi remain in Kiwikura, one of the most remote communities in the world. Here, access to services is scarce and the community can often feel neglected. But locals are determined to carve their own path forward to ensure they can stay on country for generations to come. Sitting out the front of her home in Kiwikura, Yalti sings as she paints. Like many, the family has felt the impacts of their new world, from substance addiction to chronic health issues. Kiwikura also has its own battles. The community hasn't had safe tap water for about 4 years, and most housing is severely overcrowded.
We're not being heard, because we are in the remote community.
They're pressing us down. Stay down. That's wrong.
But despite these challenges, community leaders are working to keep country and culture strong, establishing thriving ranger teams.
I've learned from my elders, from my people, what they taught me and what they said support me a lot. That's why I want to be there for my people.
Much has changed since they emerged from the bush 40 years ago. But the strong connection Yalti and Yakulchi feel to their country and culture will never fade.
Taking care of all the kids. They go into the bush. We want to pass on the knowledge of the people that have passed away.